Hello, is anyone here? Welcome to this Sunday's live stream concert and Q&A for the month of February. I hope you are all having a very good weekend. I'm just gonna wait a little bit until more people sign in. But as you see, today's theme is frills and flowers and pink and black. And I have some candles up here in the on my piano, as well as here. I'm gonna just move my piano a little bit closer too. And hello, I think more people have signed in. I'm just gonna adjust the camera because I haven't, it seems to not quite fit. But the keyboard is in, so you can see. Can you see and hear me all right? I'm just gonna wait here and just talk. So yes, this is my month of February, and I have a very varied program ready for today. I have pieces from video game, from anime, original piece, and classical and new classical. So I have all throughout, all through the genres, I have prepared pieces for you today. All right, well, I think, oh, there's a new one, hello. I think I'm just gonna start. So my first piece that I'm gonna play is a piece that I actually also haven't performed yet. I did a recording of it, or actually for a video shoot. And this is a great opportunity actually for me, these online concerts, to perform pieces that I've only recorded so far or shot videos for. So this first piece is by Ludovico Einaudi, and it's called Nuvole Bianche, which is Italian for white clouds. And I think, if I read correctly, Ludovico Einaudi, who is an Italian composer and a pianist, he got inspired by the sky and the weather when he composed this piece. Obviously, otherwise you wouldn't have named it Nuvole Bianche, but that's what I read, that this whole album that this piece is on, it was inspired by multiple things, and one of those was the sky. So this is Ludovico Einaudi, Nuvole Bianche. This was Nuvole Bianche. I hope you can hear me all right. I haven't seen any comments from anyone, so I'm just hoping this you can hear everything and see everything all right. So this is this was Nuvole Bianche, a beautiful kind of very smooth and transcendent piece that really reminds me actually of some clouds. So the next piece is a classical piece. It's a very short and sweet one. It's one that I also did a video for, actually. I think it was last year or maybe 2 years ago. It is by Chopin, one of my favorite composers, as you know, probably. And it is a little waltz. And it's the waltz in A minor that I have a YouTube video for. So waltzes by Chopin are different. They are very special, not like everyone else's waltzes. Waltz, usually it's a waltz, the definition of a waltz is a dance, of course, and it's in 3. So dum, 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 dum. And usually it's a little bit heavy-footed if you think about the Viennese waltzes by Johann Strauss, for example. But Chopin was very different. His waltzes are much more elegant. And there's a very famous anecdote that he once wrote in a letter that said that Chopin himself said in a letter that his waltzes are supposed to be danced with ballet shoes, not dance shoes. So this is the waltz in A minor by Frédéric Chopin. Very short and very sweet waltz. Now, my next piece is a very new one. I've never played this before. I've never published it before. I may have talked about it before. This is a piece or a song that anyone who has ever played Final Fantasy XIII knows. It's the title melody. It's called The Promise. And it's written by Masashi Hamauzu, who wrote the music for all Final Fantasy XIII. And there's some really, really good music in the whole game. But this one is a standout because it's a very simple melody and it's really lovely and just beautiful and fits the game very well. And this is arrangement that I didn't write myself, that actually a friend of mine, Sebastian Schell, wrote for me. Sebastian already wrote one other arrangement for me that I recorded, the one from Princess Mononoke, the main titles from Princess Mononoke. And he is a very talented arranger that I always like to play his music from. And this one actually was written by him for me and a singer that I was supposed to work with in Germany a couple of years ago. Now, that project never came to life, unfortunately, but I liked his arrangement so much that I thought I really want to publish it myself sometime. And it took me a while actually to have time to dedicate it. But what I did with the arrangement is I took the one that he wrote for me and voice, for piano and voice, and consolidated it and wrote it for solo piano. So this is the first time that I am playing it for someone. So I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. I actually did shoot a video for it last week that I'll publish next week. So it'll come out very, very soon. This is The Promise from Final Fantasy XIII. This is The Promise from Final Fantasy 13. It's the music that comes on right when you open the game in the menu. And I think it's such a beautiful piece. It's so kind of airy and eerie, not airy. So eerie and so kind of, I always feel like I'm kind of, what's the word? I'm kind of balancing in the air. I'm like flying through the air, which is actually what I feel like when I played the game. So I think it's a beautiful reminder of that game. The next piece is an older piece that you may know, and it is also by Sebastian Schell. I mentioned it before. It's Princess Mononoke, the main theme from Princess Mononoke, so Mononoke's song. This piece I have been studying again or playing again recently because I mentioned it on my social media. I don't know if you saw it or if you follow me. I mentioned that I was recording something in a different version with a good friend of mine, and this is the piece. So I re-recorded Princess Mononoke for piano and cello with my good friend Eru Matsumoto, and I'm very, very excited to be publishing that sometime when it's done. And so what we did with this, this arrangement is originally written for piano for my album Sally-chan, and we both played it actually as a piano cello version last summer in Mexico when we were doing an anime con together, and we both liked it so much in that version that we thought we have to record this in this version. So basically we just kind of fiddle things around, and so Eru plays some of the melody and I play some of the accompaniment as well. So we just kind of made it to be a cello and piano version. So I'm very excited to release that sometime soon, and you will be the first ones to know, of course. So this is the piano solo version, obviously, because I don't have Eru with me right now. So this is Princess Mononoke. This was Princess Mononoke, and I actually also wanted to tell you, I said that I recorded this last week because the way it is, how Eru and I are recording this piece together is because Eru is not in New York, she's in LA. So we don't really have any time to get together and record it together in the studio. So each one of us records it separately. So I recorded my part and I sent it over to her, and she recorded her part this past week as well. And then once she's done with her editing and stuff, she's gonna send it back to me, and then we're gonna master it together, and then it's done. So that's how it works now. It's very easy today, nowadays, to do things like that, which is really, actually really, really great for us musicians. The next piece is one that I haven't played before, I haven't published before, I haven't made a video before. It's also by Chopin, so it's another classical piece, a piece that I've always wanted to play. It's called a nocturne. It's not technically a nocturne because it doesn't belong to the set of nocturnes that Chopin composed during his lifetime. It's a late one that was published 20-something years after his death, so it's posthumous. And it's probably one of his favorite, not his favorite, but one of his most famous pieces. It was featured in a bunch of movies, actually. Among others, was featured in The Pianist, the movie The Pianist from the early 2000s about the Second World War, and the pianist Władysław Szpilman. Sorry, my Polish is not very good. And it is a very pensive, kind of dark, very sad piece. It's the Nocturne in C sharp minor. And it is, so nocturnes are basically, as the name says, nocturnal pieces that kind of show, that kind of are in the mood of walking in the night and looking at the moonlight and thinking about different things like sadness or melancholy or love. And Chopin was very, very famous, is very famous for composing nocturnes. And this one is no exception. This one is a wonderfully beautiful piece. And I'm gonna play it for you now. It's Chopin's Nocturne in C sharp minor, Opus Posthumus. This piece is very typical for Chopin's kind of melancholy and suffering in basically all of his pieces, and is why I like him so much as a composer. So now we're getting to the last piece of today's concert. It's a little bit of an older one. It's my original Divergent Pass. And then we'll have our Q&A session. So here's Divergent Pass. So this was Divergent Pass. And I actually also wanted to tell you that I have started writing a second original. So hopefully that'll be out soon too. I hope you've enjoyed today's concert. I have to check here because I don't know if the chat is even up. I don't see anything. Ah, there it is. I'm so sorry. I missed all your messages. Oh no. I had it on some setting where I couldn't see any of your messages. I'm so glad because I thought nobody was there. Great. Okay, now I'm going to go through the messages. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so there are some people out there. It's very strange to play for an audience that is basically not there. Because I love getting feedback, of course, and it's very important for musicians and performers to get feedback because we feed off the energy, of course. And it's a different feeling, I can tell you, if there's just nothing back from the other end. But okay, great. Very good. All right, so all right, very good. So I see, Scott, I see that you said something about that the intro, one of the intros reminds you of the last theme from the Mass Effect 3 bonus ending. Which one was that? Which piece was that? I'm very curious. Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, that's true. The intro, the chords sound very much like the Mass Effect in general. Mass Effect 3 is my favorite soundtrack, but yes, Mass Effect 3, you're right. And yes, Fighting Fate from Final Fantasy 13 is good, and the what's it called? The Saber. What's it called? I forget the names. But the one, the fighting theme. I'm so sorry. Blinding Light, maybe? Something. I'm totally blanking. But yes, Final Fantasy 13, Blinding Light. Yes, Blinding Light is the battle theme. Whenever you battle, I loved that game just for the music because it's like it really kind of brings you just in the mood, and it energizes you really throughout the game. That's why Final Fantasy 13 music is very, very good. And I'm seeing that you guys like my program today. I'm very happy to hear that. I'm always trying to get you some varied things so everybody has I can cater to everyone's tastes. So does anyone have any questions or comments or anything? Mathilde, how is your Einaudi going? How is your Nuvole Bianche going? I know you were playing it and we had a lesson on it. I hope it was a little bit of a help. I hope you're doing well with that piece. Yeah, other than that, as I said, I recorded the video I shot the video last week or actually this past week, for the Final Fantasy 13 piece, and I've actually always wanted to arrange the title. It's not the main titles from the game, but it's the pop song, kind of the title song, if you will, of the game, but it's only for the Japanese release because it's a Japanese pop song, and I love that song so much. And it's a different one for the rest of the world release. I think it's only different in Japan and in the rest of the world, but the Japanese one is so great. And I started doing it, but a long time ago when I first discovered it, and now I still have it on the back the back stove. I don't know how you say that. Oh, good, Mathilde. I'm very glad that you're doing well with the piece, and I'm crossing all my fingers for you for that for the piece that you can complete it. Yes, so Scott, I thought at first I thought it was the release song all over the world, but then I found out because I couldn't really get it anywhere, so I found out that it's just for the Japanese release, which is, it's kind of a pity because in my opinion, it's better than the English song. I can't remember the English song, but in my opinion, it was better than that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm also gonna release a studio recording of the Moonlight Sonata that I played for you last month. So I'm working on that. So this next week will be a big recording week again because I want to record a bunch of things that I have on my back burner as well. Yes, Scott, I agree. I like I like J-pop anyways. And I think it's too bad when they translate it because it doesn't sound the same, obviously. I think Japanese is a great language for pop music. Yes, Mathilde, I'm very excited to share my new original with you guys once it's finished. I only started it, but I feel like this is gonna be. I'm gonna sit down and work on it in the next 2 weeks so that it's gonna be finished soon. I'm very excited. I have I had an idea and it kind of released a spark, and then that happens with me when I compose or arrange. I get in those moods and then I have to sit down and finish it. And then maybe for a while there's nothing. I kind of lack inspiration, and then the inspiration comes and then I have to sit down and just finish it. So I'm feeling one of those right now, one of those moments. Yeah, well, I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, rest of the weekend. I hope you had a nice weekend. And tomorrow is actually in the US, tomorrow is President's Day, so it's a holiday. But if you're going to work tomorrow, I wish you a great beginning of the week and all the best. And of course, as always, I'm very open for comments and requests and everything. And you can always talk to me on Patreon, of course, if you have any questions. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here, for joining me for this month's live concert. And have a great evening. And I will see you and talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for listening. And yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.